Matty Ice Cards, first in the live chat. How you doing there, Matty? Thanks for being in here today. This Hall of Fame Friday. Hopefully you're having a great Friday. TGIF for everybody out there. Bernie H is in the house. How you doing there, Bernie? Surprised you worked those double shifts 2 days before the big holiday weekend. I thought maybe the big holiday weekend you'd be busy. But maybe not. Maybe it's going to just be a normal shift every day for you. I know it's the last big hoorah for the summer. The last big vacation weekend for some people. Being getting off early Friday. The traffic was a little bit more. Good afternoon, everyone. Chuck the Pre-Sports Cards. How you doing, Chuck? Bernie H, some people were sick. Oh, some people were sick, so you had to fill in. Understand. Okay. Hey, Chuck. All right. So let me go into my other computer here. We'll see what time I went live. Do our 5-minute early bird special. See who we get for entries today for our 5-minute early birds. Chuck the Pre-Sports. God is great's in the house. How you doing there, Titus? Thanks for popping in. Lockin' 99's in the house. All right, we're doing pretty good here. Getting a whole bunch of people in. We got 5 people viewing right now. So let me, well, that one's loading up. Let me do a refresh on my Mac. My stream is loading up on my other computer here. We'll see how things go today. I was hoping I could have started on time at 2 o'clock, but being in the military, I can discipline myself. I can pop up, get ready, and then it's just like for my wife to get ready. It's our turn this weekend to clean our church building for services on Sunday, and she wanted to do it today instead of tomorrow, so we got that out of the way. But we didn't get there till almost 10:30, so 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. There we go. It's almost 2:30 now. But we definitely left. We left our church about 2:15 to get home. So I already knew I was going to be late. I almost was going to put a message in the community page area that I might be a little bit late, but it looks like most people found out. Most people hang out for at least maybe about a half an hour sometimes. So let's see here. Boom, got that one processing. This one is now processing. We got 6 viewers now for our Hall of Fame Friday, episode 131. Harry HEILMANN. I'll give you a September schedule update for my 2 trips coming up. One next weekend, and then the last week in September. There will be live streaming, but it won't be my regular schedule. I'll be doing some short live streams, or a couple live streams a day possibly, in Cooperstown, New York is where I'm going to be the last week of the month. We leave on late Sunday night, me and my pastor, and we get back the following Saturday. So we're spending almost 4 full days. We'll get there Monday morning to Albany, and then we have a rental car scheduled, and then we'll drive from Albany to Cooperstown to get us to where we check into our hotel for 4 nights at Cooperstown. So we're staying right there in Cooperstown. So once we're there, unless we do some sightseeing somewhere outside of Cooperstown, which we might see what's notable to look and see while we're there. So we will do that for sure. But other than that, let me get up here and see what time we actually went live. And that was 2:26, 2:31. So let's 5% minute and 5-minute early bird official entry stage. It's kind of official, but we will get everybody up to the part of logging in right after my commercial breaks here. Okay, so that's what we'll do there. Again, let's go through the commercials really quick and we'll get into our content. Believe it or not, Harry Edwin HEILMANN was a right-handed hitting outfielder, first baseman, and won American League batting championship 4 times. 1921, 23, 25, and 27, and 1923 batted .403, collected 2,660 hits and 183 home runs in 2,146 major league games, and had a lifetime batting average of .342 and a fielding mark of .973. So the new 2023 Patreon tiers, these new tiers are repack boxes of your favorite PC team or teams. Okay, the care fields are $10.99, and at any time, if you do want to change the size of your box or Patreon, you can adjust it either way. Of course, the smallest tier is the $10.99 care field, contains 1 pack of unopened cards. $14.99 is the blaster box, contains 3 packs of unopened cards. The mega box contains 5 packs of unopened cards. $49.99 is the monster box if you want the full meal deal of a care field, a blaster, and a mega. Every box contains sticker certified packing, a guaranteed hit in every box. And so what I do is I send your PC team, or if I know different intricacies of different people as far as PC players, PC products, some like USA Baseball, some like certain different types of products, some like tops only. You can be specific in your notes to me in your care field or blaster or mega or whatever you might want, and I will tailor the boxes to your request as much as possible. Okay, so other than that, again, every box contains a sticker certified packing and a guaranteed hit in every box. All right, and we're going to see how this year ends up to see if I continue it into next year, or we come up with something different. Might just do a poll and see what people would like to see for Patreons that I would take care of once monthly. It's just a little bit easier that way. So here's our schedule. We were off yesterday. We're playing today. We're going to be with the New York Mets for 3 games in New York City. And then we have 3 games with Cincinnati, and then 4 games with Tampa Bay. Then we come back home. We play LA for 3 games, have a day off. Then we play the LA Angels and then the Los Angeles Dodgers for a 3-game series. And then we play 3 at Oakland, have a day off, then 3 at Texas, and then through the rest of the season we don't have any days off. Then we play 3 in Houston and 4 in Texas to end the season on October 1st. So that is the Mariners schedule, and now we will get into our month of September spreadsheet here. And just so everybody knows, we are at 159 entries as of this first day of September so far. But we are at 1 prize on the wheel already. I'm guessing probably by the end of this stream here, we'll probably have 2 prizes on the wheel. And we do have the super chat giveaway for J Pylon. We started this back in June, nothing in, or actually closer to July. I think we did it very, very end of June. So we had July, and now August is behind us, and I only got 11 super chats. So I might have to contact Jay and just see if we can work out a deal, and I'll compensate him, or maybe I'll just go to his channel and do an 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, do an $11 super chat for him, and we'll call it square for now. But we'll see what's going on there. Sam Sports Shop. Hey, Donald, been well. How's it going? We are doing good, Sam. Thanks for popping back in the stream. But that is the Super Chat giveaway for a 2023 Top Series 2 hobby box that we're doing. Only, we don't have to necessarily... I'd be willing to go as low as probably what it costs per box for the case that got sent by one of my supporters. I'd like to try and get maybe at least 80 entries. 80 entries to at least keep it going and get at least a good chance at it. So far J Pylon has 11 entries. He's got 10 plus 1 is 11 entries so far. So other than that, we're going to go ahead and set our baseball game off to the side here. And I'm going to log in everybody's entries here for the early birds today. If you come into the stream here, this is how it works there, Sam Sports Shop. You get free entries for our monthly giveaway every time you come into the stream during the 5-minute early bird special. And if you're here at the end, you get a bonus 2 entries. So you get 2 entries just for showing up. Okay? And then that entitles you to 2 at-bats in the baseball game to get even additional entries. And so, I mean, the most you could do is if you got the 2 600 spots on our game here, that could give you 12 more entries. So, just wanted to throw that out there real quick. We're going to go through the list here. I know Matty Ice was first when he came in today. So, Matty Ice cards, you have a 2+. So, you get 2 entries for sure. And then we had Bernie H is in here with 2+. I'll go through, and everybody up to the logging in process is eligible for the baseball game. We had Crossover Paranormals here, Cops, for 2+. I put the plus here so then I know you're eligible for the 2-minute warning for the bonus. If you're here at the 2-minute warning at the end and you chime in, you'll get 1 additional entry at the end of the stream. So you can get 3 free without even including the baseball game at the beginning here. And then we got Bernie H, we got Matty Ice, Bernie H, Chuck Dupree Sports Cards is here, so Chuck gets 2 entries into the baseball game. Hope you're doing well, Chuck. Let's see, Bernie H, Matty Ice, Chuck, God is Great's here. God is Great for a 2+. Lockin 99 is here for a 2+. Alright. Chuck, God is Great, Chuck, Bernie H, Matty Ice. Did get Matty Ice, right? Yep, Matty Ice is here. God is Great, God is Great. And Sam's Sports Shop. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, Sam? So I'm going to do you as a write-in on the bottom of the list here. And if you're here, in addition to most of the usuals, I might knock off some of the ones that aren't really here much. But Sam, you'll be in a temporary spot on the bottom here. Sam's Sports Shop. Okay, it's got a 2+. And that will tell us, now I'll do a refresh here because we got everybody now logged in for the early bird specials. Give you a little idea here. Next up, we're going to have the baseball game. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 batters. So that's 2 full innings plus a batter at the end. So Sam, you'll be batting cleanup down at the bottom of the list at number 7. So we'll have Bernie, Chuck, and Cops in the first round. In the third round, we'll have God is Great, Lockin 99, and Matty Ice. And then batting cleanup today will be Sam's Sports Shop with his 2 at-bats. Okay? In addition to that, we will be doing the Friday trivia That's right. And the weekend trivia in honor of today's. So you will be able to get points there. When I review the trivias, I'll tell you how many points the trivia is going to be worth. I believe it's going to be, yeah, the first one's going to be a 5-pointer. And the second one's going to be a 2-pointer, if you get it right. Okay? So there will be 7 more entries up for grabs. And again, on the 5-pointer, if you don't get all 5, the one who has the most correct, and it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. If you get all 5 correct, you'll get 5 entries. If you get 4 right, you'll get 4, 3, 2. If one person only gets one of them correct, then we'll have 1 entry. But that will be dependent on that. So we'll add those on there when we do the trivia. But for now, we're going to get ready. I'm going to line up the baseball game here. And we are going to play the baseball game. They range in variation from a double for 5, home run for 6, a single for 1, a triple for 2, a single for 3, a hit for 1, a single for 1. If you get it in these 2 spots, that's an out. You don't get an entry for that at bat. And then on the bottom here, we've got a 6 and a 2, an out, a 4, an out, a 3, and a 5. Okay? If you can see the numbers, which I'll show you real quick. I know some people probably never saw the close-up here. That is the different ranges of points that you get when your ball falls in the slot. Okay, and then that determines how many more entries you get into the stream. Okay, so I think I'm going to refresh here. Go back here to the live chat. And we're going to get into our batters game right now. So first up is Bernie H. Bernie H with his 2 at-bats. Got a single. Oh, and a 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. So plus 8 for Bernie. All we need is 41, and we'll be at 2 prizes. I'll tally things up when we're done here and see how we're doing. Okay. All right. So next up to bat, I might run some off this way, so we keep ahead through the month, through the 22nd. I only had to do 1 sheet because of the days I'm going to be doing my live streams when we can do this stuff. Okay. So next up to bat is Chuck Dupree. Chuck's up with his 2 at-bats. There you go, Chuck. A triple and a single. 2 plus 1 is 3. So plus 3 for Chuck. Okay. Alright, our last batter in the first inning is Cops. Cops is up next. A single for 3 and a triple for 2 is 5. So plus 5 for Cops. I'll do a quick add up after we're done our trivia. I'm pretty sure we'll get 41 entries in this round here. Okay. Got to add these in. So our next 3 batters, again, are God is Great, Lockin 99, and Matty Ice Cards. So God is Great, you're up next. Oh, a foul ball. Oh my word, 2 foul balls. Sorry about that, God is Great. You got 2 outs. That's the luck of the draw sometimes. Okay. So next up to bat, we've got God is Great. Oh no, God is Great just went. Lockin 99 for his 2 at-bats. He's got a single. 2 singles for 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, next up is Matty Ice. Oh, I don't know why I'm clearing it every time. Oh well, that's fine. We'll be able to finish up now. So Matty Ice with his 2 at-bats. A single and a foul ball. Single for 1, so plus 1 for Matty Ice. Okay. All right. Clear that there. And our last batter for the game is Sam's Sport Shop for his 2 at-bats. He's got a single. Oh, and an out. 3 plus 3. So you got 5 entries so far in our September giveaway. Okay. So let's do our trivia real quick. Let me put the baseball game away for now. Unless we get a super chat. Anytime you do a super chat, you can get 2 baseball game entries and unlimited amount of super chatting. So if you super chat $10, you'll get 10 entries into the super chat giveaway. Okay. Matty Ice cards, yep, I've got to go. Have a great evening, fellas. All right there, Matty Ice. You take care and have a fun, safe weekend, okay? We're going to do our trivia next. It is entitled for today, Friday, September 1st, 2023, Baseball Humor. All right? But our baseball birthdays for today, September 1st, are Jim O'Rourke, Gary Maddox, Rico Cardi, and Cloyd Boyer. Okay? So this one is fake super chat, $1.99. Donald is late again. Well, that's a cool fake super chat, $1.99. Looks good. Doesn't give you anything, but it looks good. So, baseball humor. All right. Here is this is normally just a for example, but I'm turning it into a trivia. So if you can name any of the 5 explorers that are listed in this humor baseball trivia, I will give you, so you'll have to just write the players' names. Name 5 players. Oh, let me get it ready here, so I'll tell you when to start your guessing. Okay, so after I read it through twice to give you time to think, that's a balk, Tim. There you go. Thanks, Jason. Baseball humor. We're being funny today already. Baseball humor. Name 5 players who would qualify for an All Explorers team. Again, baseball humor, but we're turning it into a trivia. If you can name the 5 players who would qualify for an All Explorers team. So go ahead and start your trivia guessing now. And please don't just think of a name and add it in there. It has to all be in your chat. So if you can come up with 5 names in your chat, then I will give you 5 entries. If not, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you will get that level of entries for the baseball humor for today. Okay? So I'm going to mark this to get this ready here in case anybody gets a guess right. So I'll know why I put it on this side. Just add it. Okay, so I know it's a tough one, but name 5 players who, here I'll give you a clue here. Name 5 players whose names would qualify for an All Explorers team. Remember, these only go through players. I'll give you the years. going through 2021 would qualify. Okay. So let's see. We'll let this start, and let's see. We will end it at 2:55. Okay. Hello, Donald. Hope you're doing well. I am their Sportsline. You can play in the trivia game if you do want to, their Sportsline. Name 5 players who would qualify. Here, I'm quantifying it here. It would be name 5 players whose names would qualify them for an All Explorers team. Let me see. Daniel Hudson, Tim Hudson, Tony Clark, Kyle Lewis. Oh, I like that. Kyle Lewis. They didn't really have that one on there, but he would qualify, wouldn't he? And Dennis Cook. I don't think any of those are part of the list. But I would Lewis and Clark. I do like that. I do like that. Hudson. Hudson. Those are pretty good guesses. And then Cook. So clarify in my head, if you can there, Jason. Hudson. Who's the explorer with the name of Hudson? And then who's the explorer with Cook? Because I'm thinking, if they qualify as an explorer, we don't necessarily have to go by the 5 that they. It just says name 5 players who would qualify for an All Explorers team. So just to freshen my memory with Hudson and Cook. Who are the explorers? You can put the first name for each. Who Hudson and who Cook? If you remember, or if you know, just type it in the chat before we hit 2:55. If not, I know I'll do Lewis and Clark for sure. Henry Hudson is an explorer in Canada, and U.S. Hudson Bay, a land river, are named after him. Oh, okay. That qualifies. Cook found Hawaii. Oh, okay. Kyle Lewis and Will Clark is all that I can come up with. That is pretty cool. But go ahead and end your guessing, and I'm gonna give all five to Jason, because he was really good there. Chris Sale, Christopher Columbus. There's a baseball player called Christopher Columbus. Jose De Leon, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Okay, now you're getting funny there. That's right. Locken crushed it. He got all 5 correct. Henry Hudson. Oh no. Yeah. Daniel Hudson, Tim Hudson, Tony Clark, Kyle Lewis, and Dennis Cook. I'm going to give you the 5 for that there, Jason, because you're the only one that made the valiant effort and did get all 5 that you named correct. Just to give you a heads up, it's not the 5 that I had listed here, but those do qualify. No, it's not really rigged. It's just I don't know any baseball players called the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And Christopher Columbus and Chris Sale sailed the ocean blue. Is that what it is? So the answers that they had on my trivia calendar, then we'll have a regular trivia right after this. So it will be easier because there's only one answer for our Saturday, Sunday trivia. Okay? So the answers on our trivia calendar are Juan Pizarro, who played for the White Sox in 1957 to 1974, Daniel Ponce de Leon, who played for the Cardinals 2018 to 21, Nestor Cortez, who played for the Yankees in 2018 to 21, Oliver Drake, who played for the Tampa Bay Rays 2015 to 2020, Cal Raleigh for the Mariners in 2021. He's actually a current, there might be a couple of these are probably current players. And Dennis Cook with the Mets, 1988 to 2002. The Nina, the Pinta, 1492. Yeah, there you go. That's how the song goes, right? But that's our baseball humor, and Jason came ahead there. We've got one more trivia for Saturday and Sunday, and it's entitled, Did You Know? Okay, so let me get our, I'll do your, start your trivia again. I'm just going to type it. Okay, so did you know? Okay, I'm going to read it twice. And it's an easy one, so you only have to choose one of the four answers that they have here, multiple choice. Which was the last team to shut out the Dodgers in 2019 before they scored in 139 straight games? Was it A, the Mets, B, the Reds, C, the Cardinals, or D, the Braves? Which was the last team to shut out the Dodgers in 2019 before they scored in 139 straight games? Again, was it A, the Mets, B, the Reds, C, the Cardinals, D, the Braves? I'm going to tell you to give your trivia guesses right now while I read the Saturday birthdays tomorrow. For Saturday, September 2nd is Al Spalding, Marv Throneberry, Monty Pearson, and Rich Aurelia. And then our Sunday, September 3rd birthdays will be Eddie Stanky, Sandy Consuegra, 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 probably, Tom Brewer, and Luis Gonzalez. So whoever gets the trivia question right first wins. Lockin99 got that 2-pointer. He got both the trivias today. He got the 5-pointer and the 2-pointer. It was the Mets that shut out the Dodgers in 2019 before they scored in 139 straight games. Okay, give you the information on that one. All right. And the answer is A, the Mets. Jacob deGrom hurled 7 frames at Citi Field on September 14, 2019, allowing 3 hits, no walks, and fanning 8. A 3-run double in the 8th by Rajai Davis gave the Mets a 3-0 win. Just weeks later, Jacob deGrom would win a second consecutive Cy Young Award, and he finished 11-8, posting a 2.43 ERA, fanning a league best 255 batters in just 204 innings. The Dodgers' streak ended in a 2-0 loss against Zach Wheeler, a former Met, and the Phils on June 16, 2021. So that is our trivia for today. Thank you for being here. So next Tuesday we'll be doing a Hall of Fame trivia and a which one trivia. So we will have Two trivias on Tuesday. Remember, said I would give an update too. Let me set this off to the side real quick. On my schedule, it's listed there. And then we'll do our Hall of Fame Friday trivia, and then we'll see where we'll go from then. My Mariners play at 4 o'clock, so I don't know for sure if we'll get to a box opening or not today, but we'll see how long. The biography is a little bit lengthy today, but well worth the listen. Larkin is on fire today. Yes, he was for sure. So we're going to do Harry Edwin Heilmann, but I'm going to give you an update real quick on my September schedule here. Okay, so we do have today. So I'm going to be off 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll do a live stream on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So it will be a little bit easier schedule next week for me. But I will try and do some live streams from San Diego. If I do a tour at, what do they call it there, Petco Park in San Diego? Is it Petco Park, I believe? But I will, if we do a tour one of these 2 days, we've got a busy day. We're leaving early in the morning on Thursday and getting there like in the morning on Thursday. It's a straight flight from Seattle to San Diego. All right. I will be pre-recording my Rickey Henderson Hall of Fame Friday. So there will be a Hall of Fame Friday, but it'll be pre-recorded and scheduled to go live on 2 p.m. on Friday. So 2 live streams, and then Friday will be pre-recorded so I don't skip a beat with my schedule of who I've got through the next couple months. I'm going to try and stay on schedule with that. So that's what we'll be doing there. And then don't know for sure. Well, we're actually staying through Sunday. So we've got the rest of the day on Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday is when we come back home. Then I'll be off on the 11th, and then we'll be doing live streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on this week, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on this week, and then over the weekend on Sunday night on the red eye, we head to Cooperstown. We go from Seattle to North Carolina, and then we catch a flight from North Carolina and get to Cooperstown that morning. So we'll have part of that day there, and then we'll have all of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Cooperstown with a pre-recorded Pete Hill, and up here will be Rickey Henderson for my Hall of Fame Friday that day. Did I say this is 31? This is supposed to be 32. Yeah, I think I did it wrong. Yeah, I gotta edit my title here, don't I? Let me do that real quick before I forget. I'll be messing everything up. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's gonna be, so no scheduled live streams that day except for Pete Hill's Hall of Fame Friday when we get to that. Okay. So, but I will be doing some live streaming from Cooperstown while we're there, just so you do know. Okay, so let me go here real quick, and I gotta change this to the right episode. It's supposed to be episode 132, not 131. Why'd you do that, Blonde Dog? At least we do have 6 thumbs up. That's a nice one. Let's go live here, and I know it's going to show my live, so I can change this and edit it so I don't forget to do it, or I'll be messing up my whole playlist when I get it all finished. Okay, so let me get this and just change the title real quick. Sorry about that. Let me get a drink of water while I'm doing all this. It'll change like magic. Watch this. I figured out how to do this one time. Okay. Then we save. And in a few seconds here, it should update on the live stream. There we go. That one's updated. Okay. This one's updated. We're up to 7 thumbs up. 7 thumbs up. Lock 99, North Carolina. Yeah, there's no straight flights, and I didn't want to go to any of the bigger cities. I'd rather go to a smaller airport in North Carolina to catch our flight to Albany, because then it's a short flight from North Carolina to Albany, New York. I think it's less than a 2-hour flight, because it's probably on a smaller plane. So that's why I'll be going to North Carolina to catch the flight to Albany. So Seattle to North Carolina to Albany. Fairfields are getting a lot better. Oh, that's good. You've been seeing more Fairfields being open? That is good. So that is my schedule update for all my regulars that are in here. And now, without further ado, we are going to get into Harry Heilmann's biography for our Hall of Fame Friday. Okay? Let's see. Okay. So, we're going to get ready to rock and roll. Yep, North Carolina, that's I know. Why are you going to North Carolina? So that's where the airplane's taking us. So other than that, Harry Edwin Heilmann, born August the 3rd, 1894, and he passed away on my birthday before I was born, July 9th. But he was born in 1951. I was born in 1950. He died on July 9th, 1951. And I was born July 9th, 1958, 7 years later. So we're 7 years apart. He died, and then I was born 7 years later. Nicknamed the Slug, was an American baseball player and radio announcer. He played professional baseball for 19 years between 1913 and 1932, including 17 seasons in Major League Baseball with the Detroit Tigers, 1914, 1916 to 29, and the Cincinnati Reds in 1930 through 32. And he was a play-by-play announcer for the Tigers for 17 years from 1934 to 1950. Heilmann won 4 American League batting championships, securing the honors in 1921, 23, and 25, and 27. He appeared in 2,147 Major League games, including 1,525 games as a right fielder and 448 as a first baseman, and compiled a career batting average of .342, the 12th highest in Major League history, and 3rd highest among right-handed batters. At the time of his retirement, 1932, Heilmann ranked 6th in Major League history with 542 doubles and 8th with 1,543 RBIs. He remains one of the only 6 players in American League history to hit 400 for a season, having accomplished the feat in 1923 with a .403 batting average. He also hit .394 in 1921. At his peak from 1921 to 27, Heilmann compiled a .380 batting average, .452 on-base percentage, and .583 slugging percentage, and averaged 116 RBIs, 41 doubles, 11 triples, and 104 runs scored per season. Excuse me. Had an itch there. At his peak from 21 to 27, After retiring from baseball, Hillman ran unsuccessfully for the office of Detroit City Treasurer and operated a semi-pro baseball team in 1933 and 34, began a career as a radio broadcaster. From 1934 to 1941, he was play-by-play announcer for the Tigers on station WXYZ. That's an interesting call signal. And the Michigan Radio Network, covering parts of Michigan located outside metropolitan Detroit, while rival Ty Tyson called games for station WWJ in Detroit exclusively from 1942 to 1950. Hillman was the exclusive radio voice of the Tigers throughout the state. Hillman died from lung cancer in July of 1951 and was posthumously elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame 6 months later in January of 1952 after garnering 86.75% of the vote. As far as his early years, Hillman was born in San Francisco in 1894. His father, Richard W. Hillman, was born in 1860 at Sacramento, California, the son of an Irish mother and a father from Saxony. His mother, Mary McVoy Hillman, sometimes referred as Molly, was born in 1864 in the county Roscommon, Ireland. Harry was the couple's fourth surviving child, having an older sister, May, and two older brothers, Richard Jr. and Walter. Hillman's father operated a soap business, ran as a Republican for the office of Supervisor of San Francisco's Ninth Ward in 1896, and died in June of 1897 at the age of 36. As a boy in the 1890s, and continued at least through the time of the 1900 census. Hillman lived with his family at 708 Brannan Street in what is now the South Market District of San Francisco. Hillman was 11 years old at the time of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake that killed approximately 3,000 people and left nearly 75% of the city's population homeless and living in refugee camps. Hillman's older brother, Walter, was a gifted athlete who attended Sacred Heart Cathedral Preparatory, then Sacred Heart College in San Francisco. On June 3, 1908, a year after the city's devastation by earthquake, Walter died at age 16 while on a sailboat excursion with three schoolmates to visit the battleship USS Connecticut in dry dock at the Hunters Point Naval Shipyard, near the present site of Candlestick Park. As of 1910, Hillman was living with his mother at 112 16th Street in the Dog Patch neighborhood of San Francisco. Hillman followed his older brother to what is now Sacred Heart Cathedral Preparatory, where he played baseball, track and field, and basketball. He graduated from Sacred Heart in 1912 at age 17 with a collegiate certificate. After graduating from Sacred Heart, Hillman worked as a bookkeeper for the Mutual Biscuit Company. As far as his professional baseball career, when he played for the minor leagues, Hillman appeared in a semi-pro baseball game in 1913 for a team from Hanford, California. While playing for Hanford, he was signed by a scout for the Portland Beavers of the Pacific Coast League. After being signed by the Braves, Hillman was assigned to the Portland. Sounds fun, Donald. Oh, wow, I like the hearts. That's nice. I like people liking my stream. Keep them hearts coming. Boom. Do a refresh here real quick. Hillman was assigned to the Portland Colts of the Northern League, and he compiled a .305 batting average and 122 games for the Colts. All right. The Detroit Tigers is who he played for between 1914 to 1920 seasons. In September 1913, Heilmann was drafted by the Detroit Tigers. He made his major league debut with the Tigers on May 16, 1914, and played in 68 games that year, batting .225 and committing 6 errors in 31 games in the outfield and 29 games in center field for an .870 fielding percentage. For the 1915 season, the Tigers sent Heilmann to the San Francisco Seals of the Pacific Coast League, PCL. Heilmann missed the latter portion of the season after suffering from dizzy spells. Before the health problems sidelined him, Heilmann appeared in 98 games for the Seals and compiled a .364 batting average and a .544 slugging percentage with 23 doubles and 12 home runs. His .364 batting average led the PCL for the 1915 season. Heilmann returned to the Tigers in 1916 and appeared in 136 games, including 30 games at first base and 77 as an outfielder. Although his .282 batting average was low by the standards he would set later, he ranked among the American League leaders with 30 doubles, 7th best, 77 RBIs, 6th best, and 43 extra base hits, 8th. He also became a favorite in Detroit for his actions off the field. Cards in my car with Harpo Sada. How you doing there, brother? Thanks for popping into the stream here. Appreciate you being here. Get that out of the way for now. I think it's good to go now. Okay. Heilmann returned to the Tigers in 1916 and appeared in 136 games, including 30 games at first base and 77 as an outfielder. Although his .282 batting average was low by the standards he would set later, he ranked among the American League leaders with 30 doubles, 7th best, 75 RBIs, 6th best, and 43 extra base hits, 8th. He also became a favorite in Detroit for his actions off the field. On July 5, 1916, he saved the woman who had rolled into the Detroit River, diving into the water to rescue her. Although 2 others died in the accident, his heroic act was reported in the national press, and he was loudly applauded at the next day's game. He continued to improve at the plate. In 1917, once again ranking among American League leaders with 85 RBIs, 5 home runs, 7th, and 11 triples, 8th, but he was called slug due to his notoriously slow running and difficulties in the field. In 1917, the Tigers played him in right field for 95 games, center field for 28 games, and first base for 27, but he was not particularly good at those positions. In 1918, Heilmann appeared in 79 games for the Tigers, 40 in right field, 37 at first base, compiling a .276 batting average. In mid-July of 1918, he left the Tigers to enlist in the United States Navy during World War I. He served as a quartermaster on submarines off the west coast of the United States. He returned to the Tigers in 1919 in his best season to date, ranking among the American League leaders with a .320 batting average, 10th best, .477 slugging percentage, 92 RBIs, 4th, 53 extra base hits, 4th again, 15 triples, 2nd, 256 with 256 total bases, 5th, 172 hits, 6th, and 8th for home runs with 8 home runs for 8th. He had another strong year in 1920 with a 309 average, 41 extra base hits, 89 RBIs, but continued to fall short in the field in those 2 years. Detroit manager Hughie Jennings traded him, the Tigers' starting first baseman, and led the league in errors at that position both years, including 1930. Hold on. Including 31 in 1919 for a .979 fielding percentage. Heilmann was married October 5, 1920 to Mary H. Maines, commonly known as May. They had a daughter, Mary Ellen, and a son, Harry Jr., and lived in Detroit. Get a sip of water real quick here. Oh, you're up at 3:30 there, so you'll be getting off work there soon, huh, Cards? Robert? That's cool. And yes, we are having a great day. My Mariners will be playing ball in about, we're going to be playing the New York Mets in about about 40 minutes. 4:10. Yeah, just slightly over 40 minutes from now. Let me refresh the chat so I know where I'm caught up to. Okay. So in the 1921 season, Heilmann appeared in 149 games, including 145 as the Tigers' starting right fielder. He won the first batting title, compiling a .394 batting average to outpace his manager and teammate Ty Cobb, who hit .389. Unofficial figures released in October show Cobb as the batting champion, but official figures released in December show Heilmann to be the champion. He was the first right-handed batter to win the American League batting title since Nap Lajoie in 1905. Heilmann's batting average in 1921 was 85 points higher than his 1920 average of 101 points higher than his career average prior to 1921. Some attributed Heilmann's dramatic improvement to the tutelage of Ty Cobb, who took over as the Tigers' manager in 1921. There is nothing picturesque, nothing highly colored, nothing bombastic or spectacular about his methods. He is not a grandstander, not theatrical, and because he isn't, he does not get the acclaim and platitudes which men less wonderful but better showmen achieve for themselves. Batting style and speed. Heilmann was known as a line drive hitter who clubbed the ball harder than any batter of his era, with the exception of Babe Ruth. His one major handicap as a player was a lack of speed that led to his being known as by the nickname Slug. He was long known as one of the slowest men in baseball. Hall of Fame sports writer Tommy Holmes noted, Heilmann was never much faster than an ice wagon on the base paths. Without a doubt, he is the slowest moving great hitter who ever lived. According to Holmes, Ty Cobb's speed added 50 hits a year to his output, while Heilmann's lack of speed robbed him of infield hits. Sports writer Harry Grayson later wrote that Heilmann's inability to beat an infield hits was one thing that kept Heilmann from matching Roger Hornsby as the greatest right-handed batter in baseball. Then we move into 1922. In February 1922, Heilmann refused to sign his contract, demanding to be paid $15,000. On March 3rd, His spring training was then interrupted again in late March when he returned to Detroit to be with his wife for the birth of their son on March 8, 1922. In the 1923 season, in January of 1923, while preparing for spring training and recuperating from his collar and shoulder injuries, HEILMANN took up handball and quickly developed a reputation as one of the best players in the country. HEILMANN's efforts at handball also helped him shed excess weight, reporting in spring training at 200 pounds, 30 pounds less than he had reported in 1922. During the 1923 season, HEILMANN won his second batting title, hitting .403 for a season, edging out Babe Ruth, who had .393. HEILMANN in 1923 became the first American League player to hit .400 or more for a season, joining Ty Cobb, Nap LaJoie, and George Sisler. Only one other American League player, Ted Williams in 1941, has accomplished the feat since. In addition to winning the 1923 batting crown, HEILMANN had one of the best seasons as a slugger. He finished second to Ruth in on-base percentages. HEILMANN in 1923 denied Ruth a Major League Baseball Triple Crown for the second time. Ruth led the league in home runs and RBIs in both 1921 and 1923, but was edged out in batting average in both years by HEILMANN. In 1926, another Tiger, HEILMANN, won the batting title to deny Ruth the Triple Crown the third time. HEILMANN worked as a life insurance agent during the off-season in the 1920s. On October 16, 1923, after Ruth received his World Series winner's share, HEILMANN, who was friends with Ruth, despite having beaten him for the batting title, sold Ruth a $50,000 life insurance policy. Just give me a second here. I just gotta clean my eyeballs here. It's annoying. Forgot to do it before I started my live stream. There we go. I think I got it now. Oh, much better. Much better. So the 1924 season. In 1924, HEILMANN's batting average dropped by 56 points to .346, which ranked him 6th in the American League. Despite the slump in batting average, HEILMANN led the league with 45 doubles and ranked 2nd behind Babe Ruth with a .353 slugging percentage and a 6.4 wins above replacement rating among the players and 130 runs created. He also ranked among the league leaders with 304 total bases, third, 71 extra bases, third, 16 triples, third, 107 runs scored, fourth, 278 times on base, fourth, 428 on base percentage. And then in the 1925 season, HEILMANN appeared in 150 games, 147 as the Detroit's starting right fielder, and won the third batting title, this time in a close race with Tris Speaker going into the final day of the season. In 1926, HEILMANN appeared in 141 games, 133 as the Tigers' starting right fielder, and compiled a .367 batting average, .445 on-base percentage, and a .534 slugging percentage. HEILMANN ranked 4th in batting average in the American League, and the Detroit outfield took 3 of the top 4 spots in the batting race, as center fielder HEILMANN won the batting crown with a .378 average, and left fielder Bob Fothergill finished 3rd with a .387 average. Heilmann's .445 on-base percentage was second best in the American League, and he once again hit more than 100 RBIs, had 101 RBIs, and finished fifth in the American League voting. On August the 8th, 1926, the Tigers held a Harry Heilmann Day, at which Detroit Mayor John W. Smith presented Heilmann with a $5,000 Cadillac sports sedan, donated by Lawrence. Okay, in the 1927 season, Heilmann again appeared in 141 games, 135 as the starter in right field, and he won his fourth and final batting crown with a .398 batting average, a closer race with Al Simmons, who hit .392. Then he slumped in early September to fall behind Simmons and trailed by 1 point going into the last day of the season. On the final day of the season in a doubleheader at Cleveland, Heilmann had 7 hits in 9 at-bats, including Seclid. Okay. When the reporter reminded him that he had won batting titles every odd-numbered year from 1921 to 27, Heilmann replied, "Mr. Navin, Detroit owner, gives me contracts on a 2-year basis. I always bear down hard when a new contract is coming up." In 1928 and 29 seasons, in 1928, Heilmann appeared in 151 games. For the Tigers, 125 as the team's starting right fielder and 24 as the starting first baseman. He compiled a .328 batting average, 7 points lower than his 1927 average of .398, but still 7th best in the American League. He also ranked among the American League with 107 RBIs, 5th, 62 bases. Extra base hits, 5th, and 283 with 283 total bases, 14 home runs, 6th place, and .507 slugging percentage, 8th, 183 eighths, 8th, and 38 doubles, 8th. In 1929, Heilmann was suspended in the spring for different training, and then finished the season on the bench. He ended up appearing in 125 games, 111 as the team's starting right fielder, and compiling a .344 batting average, 9th best in the American League, and again ranked among the league leaders with 120 RBIs, 5th, a .565 slugging percentage, 7th, and 41 doubles, 7th, and a .412 on-base percentage, 9th. Then he went to the Cincinnati Reds. Okay. In October 1929, the Tigers offered Heilmann on waivers to the American League teams, but he went unclaimed, as no team was willing to pay the waiver price of $7,500. He was then sold by the Tigers to the Cincinnati Reds for a sum reported to be somewhat under $25,000. During the 1930 season, Heilmann appeared in 142 games with the Reds, 106 as the team's starting right fielder and 19 at first base. He compiled a .333 batting average and .416 on-base percentage, the highest on the Cincinnati club in 1930. He also totaled 68 extra bases, 19 home runs, and 91 RBIs, ranked among the National League leaders with 43 doubles, 64 base balls, okay. And then in March of 1931, Heilmann was incapacitated by arthritis in his right wrist. The arthritis was so severe that he was hospitalized for a time in the spring, and he ended up missing the entire 1931 season. In January 1932, Heilmann was reported by the Reds to be in great shape. He trained himself in hot springs and reported in late February he believed himself ready. However, he appeared in only 15 games for the Reds, primarily as a pinch hitter, and in 5 games as the team's starting first baseman. He compiled a .258 batting average and 31 at-bats, and appeared in his last major league game on May 31st, 1932. He was released by the Reds on June 6, 1932, and it was reported at the time that his arthritic wrist had lost its snap, and the power of his bat throwing arm was gone. Then on to his radio career. Heilmann worked in the insurance business in Cincinnati while he played for the Reds. After retiring from baseball in 1932, Heilmann returned to Detroit and continued there in the insurance business. He also ran in 1933 for the Detroit City Treasurer, losing decisively to Charles L. Williams by a margin of 138,478 votes. Oh. For Williams to 68,695 for Heilmann. He also played sandlot baseball briefly for the Tool Shop team in the Detroit Amateur Baseball Federation. On June 4, 1933, a crowd of more than 20,000 spectators watched Heilmann's return to baseball, as Heilmann had an RBI single in the first inning and made a big league catch in right field before a thunderstorm forced the cancellation of the game in the second inning. After a few games with the Tool Shop, Heilmann organized his own team, known as Harry Heilmann's All-Stars, and consisting of former Major League Baseball players, including Bobby Veach, Oscar Stanage, Leaping Mike Minosky, Marty Cavanaugh, and Frank Fuller, which played games throughout Michigan and Ohio in July, August, and September 1933, including a game against the African American team from Akron. In 1934, Heilmann was hired by WXYZ to handle the play-by-play responsibilities on broadcasts of the Detroit Tigers games from the Michigan Radio Network. At the start of the 1934 season, he was paired with Harold True, but became a solo broadcaster by the end of the season and thereafter. During the Tigers' 1935 championship season, Heilmann broadcast all home games for the Tigers, while out of town, games were played by telegraph with play-by-play. Okay. Through the 1941 season, Heilmann was part of an unusual broadcasting arrangement. His WXYZ broadcasts were carried on affiliate stations throughout all of Michigan, while Tyson did play-by-play separately on WWJ in Detroit. In the years of competing broadcasts, it took time for Heilmann to develop a following. One reporter noted a raspy voice, an Eastern accent, and the contrast with Tyson's polished delivery irritated some who listened to Harry. There was no such thing as a Tiger fan who liked both announcers. You were either a Tyson fan or a Heilmann fan, but never both. In 1942, the Tigers gave exclusive broadcast rights to WXYZ, making Heilmann the exclusive radio voice of the Tigers in Detroit throughout Michigan. He was the voice of the Tigers in 1940 and 45 when the Tigers won the American League pennant and won the 1945 World Series over the Chicago Cubs. He became known for his gift as a storyteller and for his knowledge of the game. In 1951, Detroit Free Press sports editor Lyle Smith described Heilmann's broadcasting style. In an era when radio men frequently went into hysterics and fabricated spine-tingling situations, Harry was content to inform his listeners merely what actually happened on the diamond. These factual accounts were interspersed with tips on inside baseball stories from the vast fund of Diamond lore. So then, in March of 1946, Heilmann sustained 5 broken ribs and a broken chest bone in an automobile accident in Florida during spring training. Despite his injuries, he broadcast the Tigers games from opening day forward during the 1946 season. On September 11, 1948, the Tigers held a Harry Heilmann Day at Briggs Stadium. He was honored between games of a doubleheader and presented with a gold pass for all games played at Briggs Stadium. Heilmann was ill for much of the winter after the 1950 season. On March 14, 1951, he collapsed at Tigers spring training camp in Lakeland, Florida. He was hospitalized at Morrell Hospital in Lakeland, and the Detroit Free Press reported 2 days later that he was in critical condition with a lung condition. At the end of March, after 2 weeks at the Lakeland Hospital, the Tigers owner Walter O. Briggs flew Heilmann back to Detroit on his private plane, and Heilmann was taken by ambulance from the airport to Henry Ford Hospital, where he remained hospitalized. He remained hospitalized throughout the month of April, and Ty Tyson was selected to fill in for Heilmann on Tiger broadcast during Heilmann's illness. Heilmann was released from the hospital and returned home in May of 1951. On June 1st, 1951, he was greeted warmly by the crowd when he and his wife attended a game at Briggs Stadium. He also returned briefly to the Tiger broadcasts in early June, sharing the duties with Tyson and Paul Williams. Heilmann was hospitalized again at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit on June 24th as his condition worsened, and he died there on July 9, 1951. It was only after his death that it was disclosed that the nature of illness was lung cancer. Detroit Mayor Albert Cobo recalled that Heilmann's radio broadcast made him almost a member of the family to Detroiters. Team owner Walter Briggs recalled Heilmann as one of his closest friends and said, "I doubt whether the death of any other person in the state of Michigan could cause more genuine regret." The 1951 Major League Baseball All-Star Game was played in Detroit on the day after Heilmann died and began a moment of silence in honor. Heilmann's funeral mass was celebrated by Father Charles Coughlin at the Shrine of the Little Flower in Royal Oak, Michigan. He was buried at the Holy Sepulchre Cemetery in Southville, Michigan. Okay, so I'll give you a recap of his biography here. Harry Heilmann, right fielder and first baseman through his career mostly. Born August 3rd, 1894, at San Francisco, California. Died July 9th, 1951, aged 56, Southfield, Michigan. He batted right, threw right. His MLB debut was May 16, 1914 for the Detroit Tigers. His last MLB appearance was May 31st, 1932 for the Cincinnati Reds. And his MLB stats: batting average .342, 2,660 hits, 183 home runs, and 1,543 at-bats. He played for 2 teams, the Detroit Tigers 1914 and then 16 through 29, and then 1930 and 32 for the Cincinnati Reds. His career highlights and awards were 4-time American League batting champion 21, 23, 25, and 27. He became a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, inducted in 1952 by 86.75% of the vote. So there you have it. Harry Heilmann, our biography, Hall of Fame biography for the 1st of September 2023. Get back over here real quick. Alright, so other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end this we're going to finish that for today. So we'll see if we can get that hobby box opened up next week. Since I'm only going to be live 2 days, it'll probably be, maybe we'll do it Tuesday. We'll see. If not, Wednesday for sure. All right. So let me put in here. Other than that, I think we're doing that. Is can I zoom in? Oh, you want me to zoom in on the card? Or here, I can zoom in. I could bring it up here. These are Hall of Fame postcards, in case you're wondering. Can you zoom in on that? These are, it's a replica postcard of their Hall of Fame plaque in Cooperstown. Okay? And so this is what the back looks like, just like a regular postcard that you would buy in a souvenir shop. They probably sell them in Cooperstown, but I've bought them and they send them to me every year. So, and you can see it does have their website on here. If I can get it to focus. Hold on. Okay, where are you at? Their address. Oh, there we go. Trying to get it to focus. It won't focus. But you get the gist. You get the gist. That's what it looks like. It is a postcard for each Hall of Famer that they make when they get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I need to find one of those. Well, every Hall of Famer has one of these, and you can go to their website is baseballhalloffame.org. baseballhalloffame.org. Okay, so other than that, I'm going to go ahead and start our 2-minute warning in just a second. Let me get in the ones that were interacting for sure earlier. Bernie H., Chuck Dupree, Cops, God is Great, Locket 99, Matty Ice Cards, Sam's Sports Shop, and then of course we got Locket 99. We had Cards in My Car with R. Posada. Oh yeah, it is a cool set. I have a whole binder full. I have the complete binder of all these postcards. I think maybe I'll have to highlight it on my channel again one of these days. I do have very few duplicates where they sent me duplicates in error. But then I noticed when I looked at them close, I think they have one in English, and for those Spanish players they have an English version and a Spanish version, which I thought was pretty cool. So I didn't know that's why they sent me duplicates until I looked and said, oh, that's why it's a duplicate. One's in English and one's in Spanish, or their native tongue. Yeah, I should do a series and go through the set again. I'll figure out when I can squeeze that in one of these days. But we'll do that. Okay? But let's go here. We got the 2-minute warning. Started at 3:50, so at 3:52. Oh, I'm going to show you some of the Hall of Fame plaques when we get to Cooperstown. When I'm doing a video in the museum, pretty sure I can do a live stream in the museum, as far as I know. As soon as I hit 3:52, I'll go ahead and end the 2-minute warning here. I see 7:51 a.m. Yeah, I know it's morning for you there on Saturday, right? Isn't it Saturday, Titus? There we go. All right, so we've got God is great here with a +2. All right, and then we've got Chuck Dupree with a +2. All right, and Lockin 99 with a +2. And God is great, God is great. All right, so I've got my early birds in here, Saturday morning and relaxing. Oh, there you go, that's right. Oh, so do you just volunteer at the hospital Monday through Saturday? Or Monday through Friday? Is that what it is, Titus? So yes, we will have our next Hall of Famer next week, which will be, I'll give you the name real quick. Oh, that's right, Ricky Henderson. I mentioned it earlier in the chat, but we'll be doing Ricky Henderson next. So let me put this here so I remember to bring the next one in. And so, boom. That's what we've got there. So I believe we do. Let me check, make sure. 8, 9, 10. 12, 55. So yeah, I believe we'll be at 214. So we did make it to the second tier, just so you do know. We did make it to tier number 2 for prizes. We did make it to tier number 2 on the prizes today. So we've got about, I'm pretty sure I did it quick. I'm pretty sure it's 214 plus or minus 1 or 2 here and there. But I'll recount it when we're done. Okay? So other than that, Bernie, God is great. And everybody else that showed up in the stream, Bernie H, Chuck Dupree, Cops, God is great, Lockin 99, Matty Ace Cards, and Sam's Sports Shop. You all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend. If I see anybody live over the weekend, if I have a chance and if I have the time, I will pop into your stream. But this has been Don Blonde, Hall of Fame Veterans, Sports Cards, and more with your Hall of Fame Friday, episode 132, Harry Hillman, and the September schedule update. Until next Tuesday, when I'm live next, we'll see you all then, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You all have a great and blessed weekend, and as David says at the end of all his videos, it's not just words, but be blessed. You all take care and have a wonderful and blessed weekend.